A word from this video sponsor. Got an idea for a circuit, widget, or device that you want to rapid prototype or sell? Check out JLCPCB. They offer their board manufacturing services starting at $2 for 5 boards and only take a few days from start to finish. So make sure to check out JLCPCB, and once again, thanks for making this video possible. Now let's get on with the video. Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306. Today we're doing another project video. This one will be a quickie, and you might notice I have this Arduino Uno. This is a clone, I believe. Most of this form factor Arduino has this USB, I think it's like a type B port. It's what a lot of like printers and like kind of larger USB equipment tend to use. And this is great, it's reliable, etc, etc. But I never have this cord with me, and when I do, it's always some like 6-inch really short cord. So what I'm going to do in this video is a downgrade probably for most people, but an upgrade for me. I'm actually going to remove this port, and I'm going to replace it with a micro USB port, which I always have multiple cables on me. And even if one breaks, I have like 10 cables in my backpack at any given time, so I can always easily replace it. So it'll be a lot more convenient. So if you've always thought, you know, USB, the full-size USB port on an Arduino is kind of annoying, maybe this video will be for you. Anyway, I'll just open this up and show you I designed a little board. I have another project waiting in this box for the future, though. I have to spend some time working on that. So this video, we are only going to be looking at this. And let me pull one of these out. Now, I could have easily just, you know, removed this and bodged on a USB port, but I wanted to be a little neater about it. So I designed these little guys, and there's actually a bunch of them. And I'm going to tell you, just from looking at these real quick, I was actually a little bit naughty in designing these. You might see if I get a real close-up of them. There's a lot of like junk in the cutoff areas, and yet I saw one or two of them where the pads were completely ripped off. Now, there's actually a selection that you can make when you're ordering PCBs through not just JLCPCB, but any PCB manufacturer will have something similar, where you have to specify if you are going to do castellated pads, and they charge you a significant amount more. It's something like a $15 engineering fee on top of the PCB cost. And so I thought I'd be a little bit naughty and don't tell them that I am using castellated pads and just have the route out bit cut through regular pads in my design. And I'll put up a pic real fast right now of exactly how this is laid out, and it'll be obvious. So yeah, you can see the outline layer cuts right through those pads, so it's sort of not a good thing to do, and they did, to be fair, they did exactly what I told them to do. It's just my idea wasn't so great, so some of these pads are a bit chewed up, and they do need a little bit of cleanup. Okay, just as an example, I grabbed one of the boards just to take a look at, and we'll just get this focused. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. When they actually do the routing operation, it's just like a drill bit that goes around the outside. And this inner plating, because it's not rigid, it's malleable, unlike the FR4, which gets cleanly cut away by the bit. The metal part actually kind of gets left behind and smushed inwards. And that happens pretty much on every side. This one's not as bad. And if that were to possibly get stuck on the bit or something, if you're unlucky, that could actually rip off the inner part of the metal plating. So, and here you can see when they routed off these little bits here, it left some of the extra FR4 kind of pushed inwards. And I saw on one board, it looked like the inner track was actually ripped off. And that could make this board not function, because I actually route the data lines on the other side like this. So if this metal piece inside were ripped off, there'd be nothing to connect to when you go to solder it onto the board. So yeah, that's why I ordered plenty of extras of these, just in case I got duds. because I was naughty and I didn't specify that these were castellated holes. If they were, I believe that there's a separate process that they do to make sure that they don't get anything like tear out or anything on the plated parts. Maybe they use some special bit or something, I don't know. But anyway, if you guys are interested, if you want to be cheap and naughty like me, you can possibly get away with it, but order plenty of extras if that's the case. If not, pay the extra money if this is something that needs to be done right and you need to have a high success rate. Pay the extra money for the castellated holes. If not, it does actually work if you try to cheat the system, apparently. This was, 50-50 chance either it would work or it wouldn't. So anyway, but for the most part, I think most of these boards were usable, and I ordered about 20 of them. Tiny little board has a spot for a micro USB there. You can see just how small these boards are, and all they're really going to do is sit on top. I'm going to desolder this, and they're going to replace that. And you can see the way that the pads are lined up. The through holes are going to be obviously for mostly supporting like the mechanical strain, and these 4 pads on the bottom are going to sit right on top of where these are, so I should just be able to blob solder on. I shouldn't need to use any like wires or anything, and this should go on. Now the first step clearly is removing this port without damaging anything too much. That might be hard. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Probably not hot air, probably just with an iron with a big tip and lots of heat, and I might actually end up having to cut this guy off, but okay, holy crud, that took forever. And I had my iron turned up to like 700. I was alternating heating, adding solder. You could see the end result. I mean, the port came out in one piece. It does look like I started pulling one of the pins off. Anyway, this is probably going to be trash anyway, so I don't care. The board, surprisingly, is not damaged. I mean, just could use a bit of a clean. Got plenty of flux all over the place. But yeah, there's just a bit of stray solder on the top, but overall didn't damage anything. There you go. There's the bottom, caked on flux from all the rosin on my solder burning off. But yeah, this will work just fine once I clean it up. So I'm going to finish scrubbing this, and it's pretty much all ready. I did go through and I used a little bit of desoldering braid to suck off the extra solder. When I put the board down, it can lie flat, and it will hang off the edge a little bit. That's kind of by design, and also because that's a limitation of just the surface area. I had to do that to fit the micro USB port on. But that looks like it'll fit, and it looks like I got all my measurements right and everything. So, okay, so we are all ready to solder this port on. Just for size reference, here's my pocket knife. This is pretty small. Now to do this, let's see what the easiest way is. Probably do one of the pads in the back, make sure it's aligned, and then go for the rest. And there we go, we are lined up. I have the one pad done. Now I'm going to do just one of the ground points. You don't even have to fill the hole with solder, just enough to connect the top and the bottom boards. And that acts as both grounding and for structural integrity so that you don't snap this board off. Grounding points are done. Now it's just a matter of getting each of the other legs soldered. And there we go. Done that. Now just go back like I said. And I'm going to solder from the top these two legs. And there we go. Here's how it looks. So now, before I actually power this on, I am going to actually use a multimeter and just check the pins to make sure that they are soldered through. And I guess it might be a good idea. Let's pull out the microscope and look at this underneath the microscope to see how everything's soldered. So give me 1 second to set that up. Okay, so I'm set up. Just to give you a quick look, here's my microscope, and I have it outputting to an external VGA monitor so that you guys can see. So anyway, here's the USB port itself, and we can adjust the focus and the depth of view. So you can see the 5 pins on the actual USB. Here, I can get a little pokey to point. There we go. Those are obviously the pins on the micro USB. Those look soldered pretty well. No shorts. Those look good. This is not a stereo microscope, so it's kind of difficult to show you at an angle. I can try lifting and refocusing it. But yeah, you can see nice. I don't know why I didn't poke here. It's so much easier to point and show you on this scale than it is to actually do on, the micro scale. So anyway, yeah, you can see here, fillets look fine. There's maybe a little bit too much solder on this side, but there's no shorts. You can clearly see the pads. If I rotate it, these two pads, perfect. And then if I rotate it over to, mess with the shadows and whatnot, you can see these two are perfect as well. Power and ground clearly, and you can see the ground goes over to the ground fill, and the power goes over to the rightmost pin on the USB, which is V+, basically 5 volts USB. And the connection points here, I added, a bit more solder than I probably needed to fill those in, just to make sure that they're very strong mechanically. And you can see that little gouge mark accidentally made with the tip of my iron, but that's all ground and that all shorts together anyway, so that's not an issue at all. Other side, we can just, there's nothing on this side, just some of the scraping from me cleaning it a little bit too harshly with the desoldering braid, but yeah, no shorts on this side. Everything's good to go. Might have to clean up some of that extra burnt flux on there, but we are good to go in terms of giving this a power on test to make sure that this still works. Okay, so I have the Arduino IDE opened up. I have everything set up, ready to go. This is plugged into the new micro USB port, and we're just gonna power it on and hopefully it doesn't blow up. Does power on, and I can see stuff happening, stuff blinking, so that's good. So let's go over and make sure, let's see, tools, I'm using a Arduino, make sure it enumerated. I don't know, I think this is comp 5, we'll see. Let's see if this burns. Has to compile first, so. And there we go. So it did successfully burn. It says, thank you, AVR done. And it's blinking. Now, just to double check, we are going to speed up the blink program just by going in here and making it blink 10 times faster. And we are going to upload this again. There we are. We're not in the dark anymore. And there we are. It just programmed real fast, and we are blinking 10 times as fast now. So yeah, this adapter board works. That means I managed not to screw up routing the wires, even though there's only 4 wires you really have to route. And yeah, overall, this works. Okay, so we're back here. It's still going. It's working just fine. So yeah, overall, this was actually a pretty decent mod, I would say. This makes this board infinitely more useful. Now I have another 1 or 2 of this type of Arduino Uno board. I'm going to do the exact same mod too, because I really don't like these full-size USB ports. They're really unwieldy, and half the time the board gets yanked off the desk if you move with the cord attached to a laptop, and I just prefer micro USB. And if this ever fails, it's easy enough with hot air just to take this chip off and replace it with a new one. And this board would have cost probably like 50 cents, maybe $1 if you include the actual USB port. So this might be like about $1 of the mod itself. Now, the time to actually do this mod, it took me about half an hour, maybe a little more. And most of that was, ironically enough, removing the old port without trying not to damage the board. So if you get good at that, yeah, this is definitely something that is worth doing in my opinion. And I will be doing it to all my Arduino Uno boards. So yeah, if you guys are interested in making your own, I'll put this file for this adapter board online, and feel free to use it for whatever personal projects you have. And yeah, you can see here, I just wrote B to micro. I couldn't come up with a clever name for such a simple adapter. But anyway, yeah, it all works. Now my Arduino Uno can be programmed and powered off of micro USB, which is exactly what I wanted. And looks like it's fairly, I made the board 1.6 millimeters thick, so hopefully that's good enough. Design process for something like this is really simple. It's look at something that you do every single day or often enough that's annoying, and then think how you can make like an adapter that'll make it easier on you. And that's all I did. From design to actually implementing this was only like half an hour of work. This is such a simple layout. Ordered boards about a week ago, and they got here just today. And it took me about, a little more than half an hour with me rambling to get the board actually situated on here. So yeah, anyway, if you guys are interested, board files and everything are going to be probably on a project page that I'll link down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.